Thank you for joining me today. We're going to be looking further at the Exodus. We're looking right before we get to the Red Sea today. Our hymn is called The Cloud and Fire.
As of old, when the hosts of Israel were compelled in the wilderness to dwell, trusting they in their God to lead the way to the light of perfect day. So the sign of the fire by night and the sign of the cloud by day, hovering o'er as before, just before Lord's the shore as they journey on their way, shall guide and the leader be, till the wilderness be past. For the Lord our God in his own good time shall lead to the light at last.
We'll look at the rest of the verses. To and fro as a ship without a sail, not a compass to guide them through the veil. But the sign of their God was ever near, thus their fainting hearts to cheer. So the sign of the fire by night and the sign of the cloud by day, hovering o'er just before as they journey on their way, shall a guide and a leader be till the wilderness be past. For the Lord our God in his own good time shall lead to the light at last. All the days of their wanderings they were fed, to the land of the promise they were led. By the hand of the Lord in guidance sure, they were brought to Canaan's shore. Chorus repeats. Had to go through when I was doing this song, and you can tell the music for this was very different, and so I had to go through and kind of rework it. And I'm not much of a composer, but hopefully the music there on that first verse that you heard was hope it didn't detract from the lyrics. The lyrics are what matters, of course. But anyway, I think all three verses will be on the monthly compilation at the end of the month here in a few weeks, and you can hear them there. Let's go on to our passage now. In Exodus chapter 13, and sorry, I work on these a month ahead, so pardon me for that little rant. But when I saw those notes, I started having flashbacks because that was a difficult one to do. But anyway, sorry. Okay, so they're approaching the Red Sea. The Red Sea is Exodus chapter 14, so chapter 13, as they leave, as you have the Feast of Unleavened Bread and you have all the directions given, came to pass when Pharaoh had let the people go that God did not lead them by the way of the land of the Philistines. That was near, but God said, nope, they might change their minds when they see war. So they're taking the scenic route, and God did that on purpose. So he led the people around by the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea, and the children of Israel went up in orderly ranks out of the land of Egypt. Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for Joseph had placed the children of Israel under solemn oath, saying, God will surely visit you, and you shall carry up my bones from here with you. And so they took their journey from Succoth and camped in Etham at the edge of the wilderness. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, so as to go by day and night. He did not take away the pillar of cloud by day or the pillar of fire by night from before the people. And so we think about the pillar, the cloud, and the pillar, and what sort of things they offered. One thing, obviously, it offered was guidance. And as it says, if they went by day, they could go by day. If they needed to go by night, they could go by night. And so this is guidance. The Lord, when you look at them wandering in the wilderness, and it's like, oh, well, they were just wandering around and just meandering around. It's like, no, God was leading them. They had to go where God led them. And so God was causing them to wander in the wilderness. And so you have the guidance. And we think about the Lord guiding us. And the Lord does guide. You might also think about protection. Here in a minute, in tomorrow's video, like I said, the next chapter is the Red Sea. So when Pharaoh's armies catch up, and I believe the pillar of fire goes around behind them and protects them. And so you have guidance, but you also have protection. And we think about the Lord protecting us as well. Think about how the shepherd protects the sheep. And you might also think about just the comfort that the Lord provided with the cloud and the pillar. It would have been a great comfort, when you think about the power of just the smallest night light. When all the power goes out and you lose all the lights. And maybe if you live in a city and you lose all the lights, all of a sudden, it gets real dark. It's real dark. But if you have just a little bit of light, it's such a comfort. And they have more than a little bit of light. They have the cloud and the pillar. And so you have the Lord's comfort, you have the Lord's protection, you have the Lord's guidance. And so it's a wonderful thing that they had. And that's why it's so sad when they start complaining. It's like, man, the Lord is with you. Don't complain. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good day. Join us tomorrow for another portion of our Daily Praise.